What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Narik Chase channel. I'm your boy Narik Chase, and in this video we're going to be doing another streamlined podcast. Now, we do have three subjects that we're going to be talking about today. The first is going to be the Resident Evil Netflix cast news, as well as the Beauty and the Beast prequel, and of course something that has nothing to do with television shows whatsoever, the Far Cry 6 season pass. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and just jump into this episode of the Streamline Podcast. Now, for those who don't know, I really enjoyed the Resident Evil franchise. It's one of my favorite franchises. I love the games, although the more recent ones, not 7 and 8, but particularly 6, was a bit of a hot mess. The films, a hot mess, totally inconsistent writing and poor direction. But I love those films because of the action and the entertainment value behind them. I love the books. I've been reading the manga. I've been trying to get into the comics. Look, Resident Evil has a very big scope in terms of just the products that it has put out. And not to mention the animated movies, which are freaking awesome. And also another Resident Evil television series has come out that's going to be animated. So again, Resident Evil is just branching itself out. Not to mention, of course, Resident Evil Village that dropped not too long ago. So I know I did a video already on the animated television series, but we're going to talk about the live action one a little bit more. So I'm right here on Variety looking at their post about the Resident Evil Netflix live action series sets Lance Reddick as Albert Wesker, and it has a picture of him standing alongside 5 women. Now, I'm not saying already, I'm a bit open minded about a lot of stuff, but as I told my wife who brought this to my attention, um, I ain't got nothing against Lance Reddick. I think he's a good actor, but this is bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. There's no reason for this man to play Albert Wesker. Wesker is a white guy. Gosh, I don't understand what's wrong with these people and these woke points. They went for the woke points. I give them that. But that right there is a bad choice. Now, what I don't understand is if they were going to go do something like this, why not just either cast a white man to be Wesker or have this guy be like be his own individual character? It doesn't have to be Wesker. I'm I'm not like pissed off like I'm gonna scream at the screen like that, but I think it's a dumbass decision. They've already sat there and shot themselves in the foot with that one. So that's, you can tell it's already gonna be woke BS in it. And I'm not saying it because it's got picture. He's standing in the picture with 5 women. That is also probably gonna cater to try to cater to the female demographic, particularly these off the rocker feminist chicks. But let's see what the series also will be in here. Ella Balinska, don't know who that is. Tamara Smart, don't know who that is. Sienna Agudong, don't know who that is. Adeline Rudolph, nope. And Paula Nunez, who is that? Frankie Nunez? I don't know. They're not really saying what characters they're gonna play, but honestly, I don't recognize any of these chicks. I mean, maybe might have seen them in a television show or movie here, but I do not recognize any of them. Alright, in the series, nearly 3 decades after the discovery of the T virus, an outbreak reveals Umbrella Corporation's dark secret. This is going to be 8 episodes, 1 hour each, and is going to be produced by whatever Netflix. Now, I'm scared because Netflix puts out a lot of woke shit, and most of their woke shit is just garbage. It's some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in my life. Poor writing, poor direction, no sense of security, just dumb catering, woke garbage, and I, like I said, I ain't got nothing against Reddick, but the fact that they cast him as Albert Wesker, I it's just gonna be a bit of a problem for me, especially like I don't know if any of the original characters are going to be there. Like it wouldn't really make any sense for him to play a black for Wesker to be in this series, and none of the other characters from the actual franchise are in the series because I haven't seen any. I mean, maybe they are in here, but I don't know. But they're not really saying. I haven't come across if the original cast is going to be there. And that's what I'm saying. That it just feels like this is the whole Wesker thing is a bunch of woke BS because there's really no reason. Look, I'm not opposed to them taking this the franchise, this television series, set it in the Resident Evil universe, and not actually have any of the main cast in it. Because I'm one of the guys who was like, look, I'm tired of playing these games and these same characters or in each game. It's like we got to have new characters because it doesn't make any sense for this phenomena, all of this stuff to be worldwide, and 6 people happen to be at every big event of it. Like that doesn't make any sense. So I would give this credit had they just not put any of the main characters into it and just came up with their own original characters, which I'm hoping they're going to do. But the fact that they put Wesker in, it should not even been a thing. It should have been his own little isolated thing in this world. They didn't even have to talk about really the other characters. Now, when I went back and when I was reading about this a while ago, I remember it was saying it was going to be set in 2 timelines. One's kind of the present day when all of those shit's hitting the fan and everything, and then the next timeline is going to be in the future after pretty much the dust is settled. Which again, I'm not opposed to that. I think it's a really interesting idea, but I hate and I gotta say this, Reddick, dude, you're a good actor, and I gotta say this kind of selfish on your part, man. Because why would you even pick up this role? I wouldn't even pick the role up. You know, and again, I'm not opposed to race swapping certain characters, but at Wesker being one of them, like it's not the character. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the series, but Netflix again has taken some good ideas and messed them up with this woke stuff, and so far with this being the leading thing, I'm worried about that too, but we'll see. Move on to the next damn discussion. They're going to be doing something called Little Town, which is going to be a prequel to Beauty and the Beast. And again, my wife brought this to my attention. And I have no intentions of watching this shit. I think it's a dumb idea. I think it's stupid. And look, I don't mind I didn't mind the movie. I actually liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. I don't like the fact that LeFou was so just ridiculously over the top. I mean, maybe he was gay, maybe not. I'm not sure, but he was too. It's easy to think why he would be gay. There's literally no reason why his character should have did that, been acting like that. But then again, like I said, the woke points with these films and stuff, and Disney Plus. They, it's just weird because Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world, whatever, and they tend to put out a lot of garbage too. So, but anyways, Beauty and the Beast sequel, like I don't know. Maybe if it was, maybe if it followed the Beast, possibly, fine. Maybe if the Beast. Like the story of the Beast was like he was like laying siege to this town. He took over the town, and Bale. It maybe in the original story of the Beast had the town, in his grasp, and Bale was the one that saved him and freed him, and then she ended up freeing the village by freeing him and whatever. Then the build up of him becoming the Beast and taking over the town would make good sense. But honestly, the way the movie played it off, kind of like how the Beast became the Beast and everything, like I'm good with what the movie presented. There's really no reason to actually go into this a prequel, Little Town and everything. And then the thing about that is I'm the type of person that will be interested in seeing stuff like that. Maybe if it was a different take on Beauty and the Beast, but as a prequel to the film that came out a couple of years ago, I don't buy it. And plus I think because it seems to star Luke Evans and LeFou that they're trying to push again the whole gay demasculating thing. Because why of all characters those particular two? And then on top of that, just the idea of all the stuff they could make a series about. Why that? I don't know, but and which is stupid because Gaston, and it's not like the movie presented something intriguing about the character of Gaston. I mean, yes, he's like the pinnacle of just masculinity in the film. He's a bit of a douchebag and everything, but they don't really set up anything in the movie that makes you want to look up his past or anything like that. If they say, hey, he was in the war, or hey, he went through this traumatic event, which kind of leads to how he is now and everything, fine. It's kind of like the difference between Scar and Jafar. Now, Scar and Mufasa are brothers, and Mufasa ended up inheriting the title as king or whatever, and Scar didn't. Now, if you want to say we're going to make a prequel that delves into their relationship, their upbringing, and what has brought these two brothers to basically Zeus and Hades, pretty much, what broke them up, what put Scar on his path. Now that would make for a good prequel, but Gaston is kind of like Jafar in a way. Like, he's evil. You don't really give a shit. He's just evil. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Gaston is evil, but I'm just saying like his character doesn't really merit an origin story or any kind of light on his character. He's just a guy that's self-centered, overly masculine, self-absorbed, arrogant, so there's really no reason for a series. Now, maybe the series is supposed to be like how these two met, but like I said, I don't know. And the thing is, I like Luke Evans and I like Josh Gad, and then honestly, Luke Evans is a decent actor, but I don't think he pulled off the whole Gaston thing anyway. He just doesn't. When I think of overly masculine men, I don't think of Luke Evans. I don't. Josh Gad, if he wasn't so over the top with the, I don't know if he was gay or what, acting overly effeminate like that, then I would be like, okay, cool. I buy him as LeFou, but since he was so over the top with it, it kind of messed it up. And like I said, Luke Evans, of all the people they could have picked, again, decent actor, but he is not Gaston material. He's I would probably believe him more LeFou than Gaston, but that's just me. So, as far as the Beauty and the Beast prequel concerned, if it was like a different incarnation or iteration of the characters, then maybe fine. But from the way the movie set it up, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care. And especially with the whole Gaston and LeFou thing, I don't care. Not willing to watch it whatsoever. So let's get on to something far more interesting than that. Far Cry 6 is coming out soon. I cannot wait to get that game. But there was something else that came down the pipeline that I just came across, and it's probably been announced for months now, and I just haven't seen it. But the Far Cry 6 Season Pass, which, from what I could tell from the trailer, is going to allow players to play as the villains of Far Cry 3, 4, and 5. Now, I did pull up some the DLC for Far Cry 6, and of course, it's not pulling up what I exactly want, which is from the trailer that I watched, you'll be able to play as Vaz, Pagan Min, and Father. And I'm interested to see what they're going to go with that. And a part of me is kind of pissed because, like, why wasn't that an idea when those games came out? It kind of would have made more sense. And I think it would have. In fact, it shouldn't be a damn DLC now that I'm talking about it. What it should be is That'll go to train, y'all. So y'all just gonna have to muscle through the train, and I happen to stay next to the track, which sucks. But anyways, if it gets too loud, I go ahead and mute it. Yes, it's getting loud. But anyways, this is my issue that I have with it. The Far Cry game should have allowed you to have some type of campaign mode where you could play from the villain's perspective, which again would have added so much more replayability to the games and actually given it something a bit more deep in terms of story and characters, because there are interesting characters in the Far Cry games. The problem is we don't spend that much time getting to know them. So I think it was in all the games a misstep to not allow us to have that. Especially given the fact that a lot of the times you don't really get a lot of screen time or character interactions with the main characters, the main villains themselves. So I will say that. But given what I've seen with this, you are able to play with these three characters. Now I don't know if this is what is it? It is. See, it's not even. It's. Get into that. I want to hear about that. I don't want to hear about nothing else but the one thing I on this page looking for. Don't you hate it when you sit here and you go to somebody's page about one specific thing and they got everything else on this page but what you asking for? I said I want the damn DLC. They telling me about the main game and stuff. Ugh. Oh man. Anyways, like I was saying, I think I'm curious to see what this is going to. How's this going to play out? Is this an acid trip by somebody or is it like the afterlife for these characters? Like, what is the actual? I'm like, what's the actual premise? Because when it first starts out, it's Vaz, and Vaz seems to be surprised, like he's not dead. It's like, of course, he's not dead because. I mean, it's kind of a shock because he died in 3. Just like Pagan Men. Well, I guess in the main story, you could say he died. So at least in part 3, he's dead. Voss is dead. Pagan Men, don't know. I guess it could be either or, depending on how they're going to bring it into this game. And Father as well. Let's see. Father as well is one of those characters where it's like, oh, you don't, well, why I keep saying Father? I could just call him Joseph Seed. Here you go. Far Cry 6 will include DLC that allows you to play the villains from Far Cry 3, 4, or 5. Revealed in today's Ubisoft Forward E3 conference, DLC season pass will allow you to play as Vaz Montenegro from Far Cry 3, Pagan Men from Far Cry 4, and Joseph Seed from Far Cry 5. Let's see what you got going on, IGN. I need, and please don't give me nothing stupid. The new trailer showcased the 3 previous villains with some first-person gameplay showing players what it would be like to play as them. Are they going? What kind of abilities are they going to have? Are they going to have different abilities? Is it one straight line that they allow us to play these characters? Are we going to be able to switch between the characters? Let's see. Each of the season pass 3 episodes will focus on a different villain. The first being Vaz, the second being Pagan, the third being Joseph. According to the official description, players will delve into the minds of these infamous antagonists, uncover their backstories, which would be good, battle their inner demons, I guess, and reunite with familiar faces in a brand new gameplay experience inspired by the elite roguelike genre in which players will have to become strong enough to survive multiple levels of the villain psych. Cool. Blood Dragon will be fully loaded in classic edition for console players, and players will also get a Blood Dragon set of items for Far Cry 6. What the fuck they got to do with this? Ain't what I asked. But anyways, I think that's a pretty good idea. I think that's really interesting, and I hope that they do give us a bit more insight into these characters, get more insight into the relationships they have with the other villains of those respective games, as well as kind of give us their idea of the main character in the game. As you when I watch the trailer, you can kind of see the main protagonist of Far Cry 3 is kind of taunting Vaz, even going as far as to say some of the lines that he said to the main protagonist. So I'm interested to see where we're gonna go. Well, but anyways, that's the end of this Streamline podcast, guys. Be sure to give me some of your thoughts about the Resident Evil TV cast, Beauty and the Beast prequel, and the Far Cry 6 DLC with the villains being playable characters. Don't be sure to like. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification button. I don't know what my head is. To get the best of what we got going on this channel, guys, we'll definitely catch you guys later on Streamline Podcast or video. Peace out.